was one man who taught us to fight, to storm the wire of the camps, to smash those metal motherfuckers into junk. He turned it around. He brought us back from the brink. His name is
Chase. Dan Chase.
Do you want party? It's party time. We got party. It's party time. Do you want party? It's party time.
All right, guys, this is the big one. This is the biggest show since the show we called The Big Show.
Yes.
We got a Blu-ray giveaway that we announced on, the Facebook and everything. So we have a Blu-ray giveaway, 8 Blu-rays, 1 DVD, and how you're going to win that, we're going to tell you in a little bit. And Matt Wiesel gave us a game that we're going to play.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I tried to get this out of you earlier, bro. I don't fucking know what you're talking about, but if Matt Wiesel is pulling the strings, dude, I'm down.
Yeah. And this was a big weekend that just came up. Actually, it's a big week for all of us, except for Jamie, because me and Dan just got new jobs.
Dun, da, 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 da.
So we're going to be different. We're probably going to be happier, but I don't know if that's going to affect the show in a negative way. But I'm just thinking, like, our happiness, like maybe we're only on point when we're miserable.
Don't worry about me, guys. I'll be great.
Jamie didn't get a new job, though, unfortunately. Sorry, Jamie. She still works in the bio labs with the Return of Living Dead Part 3.
I gotta work out in the rain and shit. No, like, yeah, I feel you though, bro. I'm definitely excited about it, but nah, man, show ain't gonna change. I know what you're saying though, like, you know how people like, yeah, I'm a tortured artist, like I have to be tortured.
Yeah, like, you know when a real comedian is on drugs and stuff and an alcoholic, and then when he stops doing that, he's not as funny.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it just totally dries up, and it's like, wow.
So now, like, I was miserable for 6.5 years. Now I have a new job, and I'm going to be very happy. So I wonder if that's going to affect the show for my end.
And dude, you're getting beat the fuck up. Like, I don't know if anybody knows, but like Alex walks fucking 500 miles and walks 500 more right after. So, but you caught that, Jamie?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. But dude, yeah, like, yeah. So, dude, you're gonna be fucking hella happy because you're not gonna be fucking tired every day too, man. Your legs, your feet, dude. I couldn't do what you do, bro. I can barely walk around my neighborhood without fucking, having to stop, break, and fucking
gain 40 pounds and
definitely making some more money. But even more so,
Yeah, Dan's rich, bitch.
I'm rich, biatch. Bum bum. But yeah, it's gonna be it should be good. More money never is a bad thing, I must say.
Yeah. Now you can stop stiffing the hookers in 2 ways.
Dude, fuck that, dude. They still getting stiff. I'll pretend the blows baking sodas to distract them, make them go over the thing, and be like, I'm rich, biatch.
And the big thing that we have on the show is that I went to Chiller Theater last weekend.
Yes.
I decided to go the extra mile for the show. I mean, some people dream of success while others wake up and work hard at it.
Some people wake up and go to conventions, son.
Exactly. And, I'm sure, people will be out there, oh, I could have done that. I would have done better. But you know what? You didn't. And so nobody cares.
And you got to talk to some of the coolest people, man. Alex, the night before, he's like, yo, man, going to the convention, go through all those people and see if there's anybody that you want to ask questions to. And I go through, and I was like, holy shit. And it's nobody like that famous, dude. They're all like, what would you say, C, D-listers?
Yeah, C-list.
Celebrities. I mean, that's no...
Well, they were A-list at one point.
Right, exactly. And that's what a lot of those conventions are. You know what I mean? That's what they do for a living. Which, dude, fuck. If I was a success back in the 80s and shit, hell yeah, I'd still be banking on that shit going to conventions. Why not? Let's fucking rock it.
Well, not do nothing else.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, right? Yeah, but if you have to do something, yeah, let's go talk to the fans. Fuck it, dude. And some of those people, man, like you said, in the height of their success, some of them are fucking icons, dude. And they will forever be Mr. Strickland. But yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. This isn't gold. This is a wishing well. Look.
Hey, you guys, look.
Must be the old Moss Garden wishing well.
You know, I always used to believe that when you threw your money in, it turned into your wish.
You take no coins, and I'll take 2 coins. And
Hey, that's not fair. You might
wait,
get all your coins and you don't get any.
wait. Stop. You can't do this.
Why?
Because these are somebody else's wishes. They're somebody else's dreams.
Yeah, but you know what? This one right here. This was my dream, my wish. And it didn't come true. So I'm taking it back. I'm taking them all back.
Who's nastier? No one spit the news raspier. Shoot half of ya, my crew's after ya. Massacre in the street making cake flip, no spatula. Passenger in the Acura with a after puff. Laughing but ain't nothing funny but the money. I'm hungry. You give me counterfeit, you take it from me. I throw your ass off a fucking bridge and cut the bungee. Spit a lungy from my tummy on your corpse, you fucking dummy. If you do survive, you'll be looking like the mummy. The new Hefner, turn your bitch into my bunny. Pour some gin for me. Patron second round, Grey Goose. 80 proof, mix it up, put it down. I throw your hands up, throw your grands up. Get your man smacked just for trying to handcuff. Get a damn slut to get my glands buffed in my man's truck on the camera. That's the plan, this your man, no.
Fuck the world, dog, I'm staying with the cash on me. I ain't hard to find, go ahead and ask for me. Like a phone check, 1, 2, it is. You can take it personal, it's nothing but business. A little weed smoke and some liquor. Throw your motherfucking hands in the air. We got an 8-ball and some bitches. Put your motherfucking hands in the air.
All right, now let's get to the 5 interviews from Chiller Theater. So this was a task, guys. The things I do for this show.
I know, man. You fucking thanks, bro. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
Seriously.
No problem.
I mean, I would have loved to. I was supposed to go to the Boston one, Rock and Shock last year, and I never made it, so it sucked. But you know, it was what it was. I did make it, but it was just a poor fucking appearance. It wasn't even noteworthy. I couldn't do anything with it. So you went prepared, man. You recorded that shit. And dude, Jamie, have you heard these? Because I haven't yet.
No.
No.
Dude, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, here's the problem.
Yeah. What up?
I got questions for like 6 or 7 people, and only one of them were the one I interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
You gave questions for Back to the Future's Principal Strickland.
You're a slacker, McFly. You'll always be a slacker.
And that was yours, and the only one I was able to use of mine was Burt Young, Paulie from Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Hey, Paulie.
Hey, yo, Paulie, man.
I don't know, Rock. I loved him in that last one, dude. Actually, he was a fucking wreck in that one, dude. That was kind of...
But you're nothing but a jealous, lazy bum.
That was a fucking sick performance for a Rocky movie.
Yeah, you know, we could use that line for a lot of people we know.
Yeah, right, dude? Yeah.
Fucking asshole.
All
right, so let's go. So what do you want to do? Paulie, Kane Roberts, the guitarist for Alice Cooper in the Nightmare DVD, Nightmare Returns. Lloyd Kaufman, who owns Troma.
Man, wow.
Michael Dudikoff, who's in all the American Ninja movies. And Principal Strickland. Where do you want to go first?
Go Dudikoff, man. I love him in...
Nice.
Really?
In fact, yeah, man. I love him in Ringmaster.
Oh, dude. See, I'm so out of the loop with movies like this, dude. So, yeah, like, I've heard of them, but, dude, Jamie, you rock.
Well, this is one of the guys who I did not have anything for.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just remembered that when I watched American Ninja 1 through 5, he was nowhere to be found in, like, I think the 4th, maybe, and 5th.
No, what did he play in the original ones?
Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering, how did you feel, like, or how did it happen that you were replaced in one of the sequels? Like, did you not want to do it, or they just wanted something else?
No, what happened was, you know, I won't. If you don't care about a franchise, then why should I do it? And I felt like they weren't really caring about how they wrote it, and I care about everything that I do on many levels, and so I just thought, well, if you don't care, I really don't want to do it. So I kind of handed it off to the next, you know.
Yeah. If your heart's not in it, that's it.
Well, yeah, my heart's in everything I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I work hard, and I think that we all should work hard to for the final product to be, you know, the best that we can do.
So you read the script and you were like,
well, you know, you started, there.
Or was it the last movie you did? You felt, you know, I don't know if I liked how it turned out, or.
Well, you do movies in between of those, and you know the energies that go in and out of those, and the time and efforts that you put into it. And when they change those, you can just tell that, you know, they're not really caring.
Yeah.
And if you don't care, why should I want to do that?
So you're not into just getting a paycheck just for work. So this doesn't work to you.
I care about everything I do, and everything I do on many levels. You know, from eating to taking care of my body. You know, I make sure everything I put in my body is healthy, and I work out every day, and you know, I'm constantly reading and trying to be a better person.
That was awesome.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, so.
And everybody should be doing that.
Well, yeah, you know, you have a longer life, you know, so I want
a good life.
A good life. I got 2 kids.
Cool.
I have twins. I got a boy and a girl, and a beautiful wife. And, you know, I want to make sure that.
Okay, that's enough with that.
He's a regular dude, though. You know, like he's a regular guy. He just wants to chill, and I dig that.
That guy was cool, man. What's his name again?
Michael Dudikoff.
I've heard the name. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I like that. That applies to everything.
Do you know Ringmaster, the Jerry Springer movie?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All right, he's the stepdad.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. I got you. I know the name. Yeah, I'll check that out. Wow. No shit.
All right. Where do you want to go next? Paulie, Mr. Strickland, Lloyd Kaufman, or Kane Roberts?
Kaufman.
Lloyd Kaufman.
Sorry, I was trying to swallow.
Kaufman.
All right, Lloyd Kaufman. Here we go.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, the Toxic Avenger is standing right next to me. Toxie, tell us what's new from Troma.
Well, we're going to Cannes next month to premiere our new movie, Return to Nukem High, Volume 1.
What is Cannes? Is that like a tuna fish can? What is that?
I believe it's a film festival for all prestigious filmmakers to go, except for Troma.
Yeah, we're the unprestigious filmmakers, and we'll be at Cannes presenting Return to Nukem High, Volume 1. It's going to be an event film, like our big fan Quentin Tarantino, who loves Troma, and we give him some love back, like Kill Bill. We'll have a Volume 1 and a Volume 2 of what's the movie, Toxie?
Return to Class at Nukem High.
Volume 1 and 2.
Return to Nukem High. That's amazing.
Now, everyone's wondering what, of course your big, your Mickey Mouse, your Bugs Bunny is Toxic Avenger. So some people are wondering if we're going to get a Blu-ray of a remastered Toxic Avenger, maybe even 1 through 3. Well, first we'll stop with that. Is that going to ever happen?
Never. Toxie's too good to be blue. He's green. Toxie, you don't want a Blu-ray, do you? Come on.
No, we can't have a Blu-ray.
We just put out a VHS of Toxie. That's much better than Blu-ray. You can go buy it at www.troma.com safely and securely.
And the obvious next question is Part 5.
Part 5, we're writing the script, but thus far we have not succeeded in writing a script that does not suck. That is up to the toxic, we're not up to the fan-toxic level of script writing just yet.
And you own the rights, so would you let somebody remake Toxic Avenger?
Somebody is remaking the Toxic Avenger in Hollywood, named Akiva Goldsman, big time. He made Batman and Robin and A Beautiful Mind. And he's won an Oscar for writing A Beautiful Mind. So there is something going on. But Toxie 5, the Toxic Twins, if we can get a decent script, we'll shoot that. But nobody sees our movies anyway, so who gives a fuck?
All right, thank you so much, buddy.
On that happy note, thank you. Toxie, anything else to say?
Well, check out Class of Nukem High when it comes out. Return to Nukem High, Volume 1, next month.
Will do. And you won't be kissing any goats lately, will you?
No, not this time around.
Good. Or sheep.
Sheep, you're right. That's good, though.
Toxie 5.
Toxie 5, more sheep. Thanks, guys. I couldn't even get a joke right. You won't be kissing any goats, will you? Because, of course he kissed a sheep before he jumped out the window.
Yep. Yep. Dude, that was a great fucking interview, bro.
Thanks. Well, we're not getting a Blu-ray, I guess.
Guess not, man. You got a good interview. I'll tell you, those motherfuckers are cool as shit.
Yeah, so far we got 2 people who I had nothing to say to, and I just asked them anything. So that's that.
That's not different from our normal shows.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to Principal Strickland before we go to Kane Roberts, and we'll finish it out with Uncle Paulie from the Rocky movies.
Strickland?
All right, here's Principal Strickland. For those who don't know, that's the Back to the Future principal. Dan got these questions together, and of course I messed them up, because the first question is, what's your favorite incarnation of Strickland?
Right.
And he didn't know what that meant.
What do you mean?
I don't know. He just didn't. He didn't know what incarnation was. So I'm so stupid that I didn't know how to explain it. So instead of saying when you were at your normal age in '85, or when you were back in the '50s, or whatever that was, or when you were this, or when you were that, instead of that, I said, like in part 1 or part 2.
Yeah, dude, he's a principal, fucking straight up in the first one. In the second one, he comes to his door with a shotgun in the crazy fucking version of the future. And then in the third one, he's a what? He's
like a Western guy, isn't he?
Yeah, like he's a cop, or not a cop, but yeah, he's something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like a constable or something, whatever. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. This is Principal Strickland. I forgot his real name. Just look it up if you really want to know. I was just wondering, what is your favorite incarnation of the character, Mr. Strickland?
Incarnation, what does that mean?
Like part 2 when you were in the,
Okay. No, I like part 1 because that was the biggest success, and that's what made part 2 and 3 possible.
Right, yeah. And if you, what would you rather see, Back to the Future get remade or another sequel?
No, neither one. No. It sits fine just as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we did a great job. Yeah, that's all. I couldn't find the other question as I was looking through my notes.
Whatever, bro. Hey, that's cool.
So we got that.
Okay, well, real quick though, about that Lloyd Kaufman interview.
Yeah.
I love that guy. He's so funny. But do you know that he'll be in your movie? Like he'll be in any movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he will. He is a huge supporter of independent film, and
founded it. Yeah.
If you ask him, he will be in your movie. So, I don't know if like you have to pay him, because you might have to pay him like $100 or something like that. Or that might have been someone.
You gotta pay him $100.
But no, I know that he loves that shit. So
he seems really cool. Yeah.
But you'll randomly see him pop up in movies, and you're like, "What the hell?" What's he doing?
Jamie, don't say that too loud. He'll end up in the Camp Out Nightmare remake.
Oh,
no. All right, Jamie's gonna love this one. Legendary guitar player for Alice Cooper, Kane Roberts.
Yeah,
I do love this one.
If anybody knows, look, I'm just telling you, get this. It's a DVD. It's called Alice Cooper, The Nightmare Returns. It's a live concert. This is like when the shit's in its prime, man. And Kane Roberts is like the lead guitarist.
What do you think the attraction is to Alice Cooper? Like for you guys?
It's dark and sexy, and I don't know. His voice just crawls all over my spine too. I don't know. There's just something about his music.
Same thing for you, Alex?
I just like the tone and the thing he's going for. And Alice Cooper, the thing that's great about him is that although he's like the dark, spooky guy and all that, he's so corny.
Oh, he plays golf, cool. And
yeah, it's so lovable though. It's a lovable corny.
Yeah, he's adorable, and he's really cool, and
yeah, he's the corniest cool guy ever.
One of the coolest things from last year, I think it was for my birthday, Patrick gave me an original copy of that concert on VHS.
Oh wow!
Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, oh. And that's the sort of thing I geek over. But
yeah, so this guy is awesome. He's like a jacked up guitar player. He's like the epitome of like heavy metal, like from big jack guitar players. Like he's just like nice. He looks like a bodybuilder, but he's playing like heavy metal guitar. It's really funny. And it's also complete 80s cheese, but it's great 80s cheese. It's like if you love all these horror movies, man, you'll love this guy. So go on YouTube, actually, if you really don't want to pay for it. I mean, you could just type in Alice Cooper, The Nightmare Returns live, and you'll see it. And you'll see Kane Roberts. You'll know who it is when you see him.
Is he a good guitarist, bro?
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah?
So this was a really good interview. Just if you're not into him, just try to get into it. It's just really cool, man. I mean, this guy is like the real deal, man. So check it out.
I know nothing of Alice Cooper other than what I know of him now and what type of person. That's why I asked you guys those questions. I never got into it, never saw the attraction or whatever, but I know a lot of people fucking dig him. So yeah, man, play that shit.
For this guy, I had questions, but I looked only at the first one, and from there we just did a normal thing, and I kind of didn't ask the big one I wanted to ask because he seemed. When I first said, "Can you do an interview?" he goes like, "Right now?" I was like, yeah, just like a couple questions, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, okay," and then he was really into it. He kind of liked what we were talking about, but even still,
they don't get a lot of those. So yeah, it's kind of
still, I felt guilty, so I didn't ask my other stuff.
That's all right.
But this is good though, man. Check this out. Sure. All right, cool. I'm with Kane Roberts right now. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. Big fan. And your whole experience with Alice Cooper, because one of my favorite, DVDs is The Nightmare Returns.
Yeah.
Did you record a lot of songs with him, or were you just more of a live guy with him?
No, Alice had just come out of a long hiatus. He hadn't been playing that much, and he'd come out of rehab, and he was sort of getting it together. And the thing was that rather than come back and just say, okay, Alice survived, and he's playing again, and he's doing the songs, the oldies sort of a thing, Alice and I decided to have him come back with a lot more power, kind of a nuclear Alice, and we wanted to compete with some of the other bands that were out there, Ozzy and stuff like that. So we didn't want to be influenced by them, but we wanted to just come up with a new, sort of a heavier, sonically and spiritually heavier sounding Alice. So we put together that tour, and you can see, there were new songs, and our treatment of the Alice classic songs, which, I'm like everybody else. The original band was kind of my lexicon for a lot of things later on. We were very careful on trying to make it heavy, but preserving, Alice's original attitude and anger and, his culture of violence. That's what Alice and I called it. So, playing on stage with him was, sometimes you could get injured, because there were so many things flying around, and we called it kind of a culture of violence on stage. But yeah, I wrote and recorded live with him recorded with him and played live. Yeah.
Oh, okay, which albums were you on?
Constrictor, which was his first comeback record, was produced by Bo Hill, and then Raise Your Fist and Yell, which was produced by Michael Wagner. So
and those obviously were more powerful than the earlier.
And Raise Your Fist, Alice and I got really dark on that one. The tour was actually banned in a lot of places because he and I are such big horror film guys. So, he's one of the few guys that I can mention Herschel Gordon Lewis, and he knows who that is. So we got into making that album. There's one section in it, it's a trilogy, and it's about a serial killer. So the stage scene was very, very kind of gory, and I just did a rock and roll fantasy camp with Alice, and he and I were talking about how the trilogy today, we almost can't do it because it changes the entire show. So he can't do it with his current band, but it was one of our favorite things. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
And when he recorded the new Nightmare, Welcome to My Nightmare.
Yeah.
How come you guys didn't get together for that? Because I thought that would have been great. I was looking forward to you being on that.
It's funny. He and I always talk about playing together again. Right now, we're kind of best friends. So, but since the camp, we did play some songs together, and we were looking at each other, and we had dinner later, and we started talking about maybe doing some stuff. So, first thing I'm going to do is try to do some writing with Alice, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But he has a great band now, so.
Yeah, with that chicken.
I love that band, yeah.
Yeah, I just saw him about a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. What do you think of that new album, the Welcome to My Nightmare?
I listened to it a little bit. I thought it was it's a good thing. I mean, Alice could, write a phone book, and I'd be into it. So, yeah, I mean, I really love it. I just love hearing his voice. The thing I keep thinking about is how his playing, his singing is so vibrant now. It's improving in a lot of areas. I mean, his original stuff, like Public Animal No. 9 was my favorite, one of my favorite Alice songs, and we kind of went for that sound on some of the stuff off of Raise Your Fist and Yell. But now his vocals are so in tune and so strong, and it's still got the Alice attitude. I'm just really impressed. Yeah.
That's great. And one last thing, like, so obviously you were into bodybuilding and stuff.
Yeah.
How far did you take that? And like, were you more passionate about that or guitar? Or was it like completely equal?
Yeah, guitar was everything for me. Alice and I do, one of the reasons why we did hook up, because we became friends immediately, is we have obsessive personalities. So I got into it just the same way he got into golf, and I started going crazy lifting weights. It just became part of my life and something that I was doing. So the funny thing is, this right before the first tour, a kid walks in with this gun guitar. He's 18 years old. He built it, and I was kind of laughing at it, and then I played it, and it played so well, so we decided we'd put it in the show. And then people started saying, Kane Rambo Roberts, and I'm so clueless. I was going, why are they saying that? And then I looked at a picture of him and a picture of me, and of course, but the music has always been, my number one concern. That's my passion, and that's what I get all my gratification from. So yeah.
And you're amazing, man. I could watch that. I mean, it's all I have of you, except for those albums. I could watch that forever, dude. And you're like, I always focus on you, really. Like, I sit with my girlfriend, I'm like, this guy, I love Kane Roberts. Like,
thanks, man.
He's the greatest, and you made it. You epic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You did great. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks for talking to us, too.
Oh, no sweat, man. That was good.
Yes, that's that.
You love that dude, huh? Man crushing, dude.
so-
Man crushing.
You were so cute, crushing all over
Did
him.
you get his phone number?
I actually did. Now I'm his best friend. Actually, if I was witty, I would have said two things. I would have said, how come you never got Alice into freaking working out? He looks like a spaghetti.
That's a good question, right? Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, that guy couldn't lift a toothbrush.
He looks like a, hang on, I'm not done with the first one.
That was good.
Looks like a spaghetti. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like walking spaghetti. And
You
then,
fucking meatball.
and then I would have said, why did you and Alice break up to begin with? What was the reason you stopped being in the band? But I don't know why I didn't ask that.
Well, it was a really good interview, and I loved hearing him. I loved hearing him talk. I love how passionate he was about it. That was awesome. Thank you for that, Alex. Personally, I enjoyed it.
Thanks. Okay, now we got the grand finale. I got.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
This one was tough, man. Like, this dude's manager, Paulie from Rocky, Burt Young.
Hey, Paulie.
Hey, yo, Paulie.
Hey, yo, Paulie.
Just so you know, I didn't pay any of these people. Like, everybody pays them $20 or $40 for an autograph and a picture.
Are you serious, dude?
I just said, I walked up to them and I said, hey, can you,
He goes, hey, yo, Paulie.
Hey, yo, Paulie, you want to do an interview, you lazy bum?
Hey, yo, Paulie, I ain't giving you no $20.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not paying you for shit, but do you want to talk to me?
You want to talk to me one-on-one? I got
That's
this
one
killer.
thing I have to say about you, Alex. Is you've got fucking balls. Like you'll walk up to people. It's like, hey, how about a few questions? And they're like, what, right now? And you're like, yeah.
Yeah, totally. Oh, you wouldn't believe how many people I had to. If you only heard how many times I went to a table and the asshole next to them who runs all this shit with the money and bullshit, they're like, do you want a picture of these, or do you want this, or do you want that? I'm like, no, I just want to talk to them on. Just want to do a little interview, and they're like now, and I'm like, yeah. I make them feel uncomfortable, and I make believe that they're weird if they turn me down.
You fucking fuck. Yeah, dude, they are.
Oddly enough, the only person who turned me down was William Forsythe. I went to his table. He must have been to one too many conventions in Parsippany, and New Jersey is where it was. Nobody was at his table. And you had washed up 80s actors, and the line never ended.
That's surprising, man. I would definitely want to talk to him until I heard what happened, and then, not so much.
Yeah, he's an asshole. So I went up to him, and I'm like, hey, William, how you doing, man? Big fan. Hey, can you do a little interview for my show, my radio show real quick? And, it could have been a real radio show. He didn't know it was a podcast.
Yeah, he didn't know it wasn't legit.
Yeah, right. He didn't know it was the complete illegitimacy.
He didn't know who he was fucking with.
He didn't know, 1,000 people would hear it compared to 2 million.
Yeah, he doesn't know these assholes make fucking Teen Wolf masturbation jokes.
So he goes, no, man. Tomorrow. I'm like, I look around, no one's around.
Like, what, you got something more pressing?
I'm like, well, I'm not going to be here tomorrow, Will. And then he goes, tomorrow, man. Not now. And I literally look behind me, and I look back, I go, no one's here at your table. And then he just looked at me and glared.
Oh, no.
And I was like, all right, big fan, bro, thanks. Appreciate it.
Wow, the William Forsythe stare, dude.
Thanks for taking the time. Yeah, I got the same stare that he gave that chick in Devil's Rejects when she said how great it was to kill his brother.
Oh man, that stare would have fucking scared the shit out of me. So you were just like, all right, dude, fuck you.
He was just waiting for his delivery of coke and whores.
Well, dude, and think about it. He was waiting for it, but if he didn't have any people giving him money, he was probably pissed about that on top of it. So there you go.
Well, actually, I'm such a dick, and everyone knows this at this point, so I might as well just tell you what I really did. As I walked away, I said he had pictures of all his stuff, and he was Flat Top from Dick Tracy, so I just...
He was?
Yeah. So I go, oh, Flat Top, cool, man, good role. And I just walked away.
You are such a dick.
Wow. I would have fucking jumped over the table and shut your ass up.
I was like, Flat Top, that's cool, yeah. All right, so then that's him. He's an ass. Hey, listen, I still love him in those movies. I'm not going to let that taint.
Crack me up, dude.
And I don't mean the taint, the space between. No, I'm not going to let that taint my my moving experience. But just so everyone knows, he's a dick.
Wow.
Okay. So now let's get to the legendary.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he kind of looks like a dick.
He looks like an asshole. Like in real life, I'm looking at him, his hair, his gray hair that's long and combed straight back, and the way he sits there expecting us to be kissing his balls. It's like, dude, you think a lot of yourself, man. And you could just tell this guy loves himself. You know, like a lot of people we know who can't get out of the mirror.
Yeah, sorry.
No, not you. You know, people who just talk about themselves for 90 minutes.
Stare at myself every day for about 90 minutes, then I do a show.
Yeah, exactly.
And during that show, I talk about myself, talking about myself, looking in the mirror earlier.
I did a lot of great things in my life. Come on. Yeah, we're interested. All right, so we're going to get to Burt Young. This is Paulie, Rocky, all the Rockies. You know, Paulie, come on. I have to explain this shit. Here we go. Is it true that you really didn't want to do Rocky 6?
No, I wanted to do 6. I didn't want to do 2.
You didn't want to do 2? If Sylvester decides to do another one, would you be a part of it?
Of course. How could they do without me?
How ridiculous did you think the robot was in Rocky 4? And did anyone try to talk any sense into Sylvester?
No. It was his idea. He wrote everything.
Did you think it was crazy when that robot came out?
I thought it was funny.
Yeah,
I thought it was funny.
What kind of guy was Rodney Dangerfield off camera?
Very nice, a little jumper, a little nervous, but he was a nice man.
Yeah? And one last thing, are you a millionaire just from the Rocky movies alone?
I've been a couple of times.
All right. And could you just say one thing? Say, this is Burt Young, and you're listening to the Skeleton Crew?
Hello, this is Burt Young, and you're listening to the Skeleton Crew, and I don't sweat you.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
What the fuck did he just say? Wait a minute. What the fuck did he just say?
He tried to say it, but he couldn't get it out. He said he's listening to.
That was cute. He was cool.
He's so cute.
Hey, yo, boy.
So cute. I thought it was funny. I like him.
Did I get out of that? I don't sweat you?
Yeah, he goes, I don't sweat you. He said that in all the Rockies, remember?
Oh, that's... Wow, I'm an asshole. Oh, you're right. That's great.
So that's that, man. Those are all the interviews I got from Chiller Theater.
Fun, though. What a random bunch of randomness, but it was so fun.
That's how it goes.
And this is one of those behind the scene type of things, but one of our favorite fucking things to do is have him do the drops. It's so much fun, dude.
Yeah.
We think about stupid lines that we can fucking, degrade ourselves with and fucking put our own show down and make us look like assholes. And it's fun, man. Nothing better than getting a celebrity to say you're a fucking asshole.
Exactly. Just like when Danny Trejo said, I don't listen to the Skeleton Crew and I don't text either. Or the other way around.
You don't text, yeah. You don't listen to the Skeleton Crew neither.
And Bill Moseley, I like to keep my standards low. That way I'm never disappointed.
But this is what I'm saying, though. Like, that's one of my favorite things to do on the show, I gotta say, is just fucking sit around and
Oh, dude, we have the greatest plethora of, people doing that.
This show's so much fucking fun, bro. Oh, Jamie, are you having fun yet?
I'm always having fun.
She's still waiting for that phone we kept speaking of.
I know, yeah. Jamie's probably like, what the fuck are these assholes talking about?
Legally, there's still several months that I have to give you to fulfill your end of the contract, but,
Plus, get a knife up against
I'm gonna tickle everyone's ass with a feather right now to let them know what show is coming up very soon.
Hi, this is Catherine Isabel. I thought being stuck to Freddy versus Jason was bad. This shit's probably going to be worse. You're listening to The Skeleton Crew exclusively at horrorbid.com.
Catherine Isabel, dude.
Nailed it, dude. She was a fucking pro.
My new girlfriend.
Good lord. Fuck you, yo. You got a girlfriend. Shit.
No.
Yeah, so that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed the interviews. I busted my ass. I know that it just seems like real quick stuff, but it took a lot.
No, we appreciate it. And hey, guys, real quick, before we go, I want to tell everybody we're gonna post it again on the Facebook pages. But Hanover House, they're trying to get a little cash going on the Indiegogo. So don't be a little bitch and donate some money, even if it's $5. And so yeah, I just want to throw that in there real quick before we get out of here.
Real quick too, Matt Wiesel is trying to sell Skeleton Crew T-shirts on Facebook. So guys.
Yeah.
They're very cool. He came up with...
If you don't want to admit that you own one when you go out in public, you can always turn it wrong side out.
Exactly. Nobody wants to admit they listen to this.
Yeah, because a lot of them say boobs on them and stuff, so yeah.
He has a cool one. He came up with a really nice design of a skull and a microphone. I don't even know how does that even exist? Like, maybe you could put two different things together? I don't know.
Do Matt's a
I wish there was some sort of incentive that we could give people to
buy a shirt.
To buy a shirt, yeah. Like, I don't know. I can't think of anything.
Okay, I got this. I got one. You want one? Ready? This is probably going to embarrass us because nobody will still buy one. But if anyone buys a shirt and they take a picture with the shirt on, they come on this amazing show.
People just shut the show off because of that.
You hear the crickets?
And the crickets rejoice.
Yeah. The shirts are $20 with shipping. That's not bad, man. I went to this convention, dude, and every shirt was $25.
No, but like Alex said though, for real, those fucking designs are fucking boss, dude. Like the
Matt does this for us because he loves us and because the crew is family. This is just his expression, his appreciation.
Yeah, and that the girl with the axe, that represents Jamie coming onto the show. So all the people who really dig Jamie.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah, I have that one, and that's.
And on the back it says blood, boobs, and beer. And
no,
I love that. I mean, I love wearing that shit out. And then people are like, ooh, the Skeleton Crew. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. That's one of my shows.
Yeah, one of them. Don't you feel special, Dan?
It says bloods.
Bloods?
Bloods, bloobs, bleebs.
You should make a new one that says bloods, boobies, and booze.
Boobies.
Boobies.
Anyway, yeah, that was such an honor for me when he designed the shirts. It was incredible. So
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be back after this important message.
for many people, the reason why they're idiots is not necessarily that their brain doesn't work that well. It's like they got in a terrible pattern, like really early in life, and they have become a dumb fuck, and they're stuck, and they live with a bunch of other dumb fucks, so they get all this negative energy all the time. They're constantly dealing with conflicts at home that are meaningless but distract them from getting good at anything in life or from getting your own personal shit together, because all your energy is being diverted towards conflicts. Like, that's why it's so important to not have negative people in your life. Because if you're trying to evolve, and I know you are, and I am, and all of our friends are, everyone's trying to improve as a person. It's very difficult to fucking figure out how to be a person. It's very difficult to figure out how to manage your energy and to know when you're wrong and know when you're being upset for no reason. It's a tricky thing, you know, and one of the most important things about it is you need to pay attention. You need to have time to think about your own interactions with other people, to think about like the way you behave, to think about the way you think, to think about like the direction that you're moving in the world. It takes a long time. It takes a lot of energy. And if your energy is being spent constantly dealing with bullshit, constantly dealing with fucking stupid fights that are over nothing with your girlfriend or with a buddy who's a shithead and always apologizes but then is a shithead again.
Matt's game. All right, let's go to Matt's game.
Matt's game.
Okay, ready? For Jamie, we'll play the Friday 13th Part 3 versus 7 game.
Interesting.
Let's see what this is about.
Oh, you don't even know?
No.
Cool.
All right, Boneheads, here's your challenge for today. The first movie is one of Alex and Dan's favorites, and that is Friday the 13th, Part 3.
You asshole.
3D. Coming at you, look out. The death I chose was where the yo-yo handstand walking dude, I forget his name, gets cut in half by Jason. Probably one of the best deaths in the Friday 13th series.
Andy is his name.
Up against the movie 7, the classic thriller, David Fincher, 7. And that is where the young lady gets fucked to death by a knife dildo.
Knife dildo.
OMG. Fucked to death by a knife dildo or cut in half by a machete. There you go, guys. Choose your death.
Ooh.
Wait, so choose your death meaning which one would be less painful or which one?
Well, I guess which one you want, for whatever reason. And of course, everyone out there, I know every person out there is going, of course, Jimmy's going to go for the being dead. I'm not, honestly. I choose the machete because every time I watch 7, that shit freaks me out. Like, I can't even, no. It's like that is not an option. So just slice me in half and let it be over with.
I totally agree, Jamie. I think it's a little different reason though. I figure if you're doing a headstand, you got all the blood rushing to your head, so it'd probably be like, at least you're going out with a little fucking head rush as opposed to fucking the other one. But either way, you're gonna die. You're fucked.
Yeah.
You'd die faster if you were on your head, because then, if you're doing a handstand, because like he'd hit your groin and go straight down, but like otherwise he's got to go through your head first, and that shit's gonna hurt.
Yeah. But you'll go quicker though. Yeah. No pain once that brain goes, dude. Your brain goes, your body goes. So yeah, it's fucked up. Oh, that's a fucked up question, Matt. Why you gotta go there, B?
Yeah.
No, I'd have to go with that though for sure.
Yeah. I have a very simple answer for me. Obviously, for a guy, we would have to take the death a different way, and I don't want to get fucked in the ass with anything. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the handstand.
Amen.
All right, so we've got 3 machetes across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, isn't that crazy though? Like how we don't like that movie, and it's just that's an awesome death, dude. That's one of my favorites, actually, dude. That's cool.
You guys don't like that movie.
Fuck
he
that
knows
movie.
I love that movie.
Well, Richard Brooker died a little while ago, like 3-4 weeks ago, and I watched Part 3 in honor of that, And it was the best watch yet, so that's good. It's slowly rising. I think I give it a 3 or 4 now.
I openly admit 3 or 4. I openly admit, or you mean out of 5?
Mm-mm.
You mean out of 10?
Okay, I give it a 3 out of 5. I like it.
That's good.
Okay. Yeah. I will openly admit that a lot of my love for that film is nostalgic.
Exactly. That's what I've been trying to tell everybody.
Now, what do you say? I say that all
Preach
the time.
it, Jamie.
I mean, there is no denying that I have a special love for certain films for reasons of nostalgia and just, what do you call it? Not sympathy.
Sentimental.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, okay, for instance, Rawhead Rex.
I knew you were going to mention that.
I love the shit out
But
of
don't
Rawhead.
mention Jaws, though.
Jaws is fucking awesome.
You're turning into the Michael J. of the show.
I love a lot of shitty movies, but it's because it doesn't mean they're good. It means that I love them. There's a difference.
Wow.
That's why I don't like number ratings, dude. Because it's, I mean, as far as like I'm going to give this movie, not,
Yeah, because, like, you know that's not a 10, but you still love it, yeah.
Right. But I'm not going to give it a fucking 2, you know, even if I know for a fact it deserves one.
Well,
you know, because that is also part of, I love these movies because I'm passionate about them and because I care about them and because of how they make me feel. I'm damn straight not going to deny any of that and give it a straight across technical rating, you know? I mean, that's just boring. So.
Damn it.
What's the matter?
We wasted the first 35 shows, Dan.
Nah, dude, but I know everybody likes to make a joke out of it, dude, but we never fucking said we hated this movie, dude. There's so many good parts in it, dude, but there's a lot of shitty parts. Like, I know a lot of people love the biker gang, dude. I think it's fucking stupid. A lot of people...
Really? I love those guys.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. But, but I'm saying, though, like, between them and between fucking Shelley, who... Everybody loves Shelley or whatever. Okay, fine. It is what it is. I think he's a shitty character. Yep. And then you get the potheads on top of that, dude.
Horrible.
And then accompanied with the old crazy guy, I think it's a lot of dumb characters in a cool Jason movie. But you get the whole rape thing too, which I roll with that. I don't even give a fuck. It is what it is, dude. But I'm saying, like, the movie as a whole, dude, and then you put it up against 4, sit down.
Exactly, right, yeah. As soon as you see 4, it's like, there was a list that Jason posted on our Facebook page. Everybody join our Facebook. And Jason posted a thing there about somebody ranked the Friday 13th in order, and 3 was rightfully very low. What they said was that, maybe I can find it, but what they said was that at this point, the series was treading water. Pretty much part 4 was doing the same thing, but when you turn off 4, you feel like you just watched something great, and when you turn off 3, it's just like, well, that went nowhere.
Bull. No, not at all. I don't feel that.
Yeah, but you're too sentimental with it, though.
No, I am sentimental, yes, but I'm not completely sentimental. I'm not mental.
She's like, I ain't insane.
You know, I do love the movie, and I recognize that a lot of my love for it has to do with nostalgia, like I said, but it's not like it's really crazy bad.
It's not blind nostalgia?
If nothing else, it deserves respect for being the origin of the mask.
Oh, Jamie.
You
know we hate that.
At the very least, you have to give it that much. Without this one, then the other ones would never have been, because this is where it all came from. So, you know, whether you like it or not, it's there. It doesn't matter. It's part of the canon. It exists.
I like the word mythos better than canon.
And then use the word mythos while I use the word canon. But then, man, seeing this in the theater in 3D, that was pretty badass.
Yeah. Well, in the article you were referring to, dude, it basically says all the same things that we said before, and it says it's notable for 3 things. Jason finds its mask. It's implied that Jason raped someone once, and the fact that it was filmed in 3D. Now, some of those things, that's what it's notable for, but, you know, like you just said, Jamie, it's all subjective shit once you get into, the story of it or whatever, and I just didn't like a lot of the characters in it. I thought Jason was great. I actually liked the 3D
He's
thing.
my favorite Jason ever.
Is it? Okay, word. But
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying,
I love the way he stalks in this.
Okay.
I mean,
I don't like that walk he did when he walked away from Vera when he killed her.
And he's like, and he's almost like a retard, kind of a little bit. But even if
Hey, retard!
Hey, retard, get over here, retard. Stop swinging that ass, retard. But, but it's just one of those things where I like a lot of that movie, but it just, if we're sitting there ranking fucking which one we like more and shit, and I think it wouldn't be as bad if it wasn't right before 4. Because I love 4. 4 is my favorite, and that's like the only reason I'm sorry, not the only reason, but that's the main reason I like 3 is because of the lead in, and it's right before 4. I love that, dude. It's great. Because 4 is one of my all-time favorite horror movies, not only Friday the 13th movies, it's just one of my favorites, you know? And, so that's how I rate it. But, dude, what was it? Everybody fucks around and shit, but, dude, we don't hate that movie, dude. It ain't that bad.
Yeah, we're just kidding.
It's just not one of my favorite Jason movies. Fucking sit down. It ain't that bad, yo.
Sometimes when you try to, like, prove a point, you gotta exaggerate just to get that point across, because you feel like, well, everybody says this, so I'm gonna really give it to him. And I think...
Well, there's a lot of points out there, and you gotta be specific with it.
Yeah, so...
Right?
Yeah, well, that's that. So, thank you, Matt, and we have more coming up from the Matt Wiesel game.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Robert, you're on the air. Robert, you there? Well, we lost him. Freddy and Jason, the movie, made $34 million?
37, I think.
$37 million, man. Wow. I knew that would be a big one. When I heard the concept of Freddy Krueger versus Jason,
I'm telling you, until we started talking about it on Thursday, I even got a note about a screening of it, and I was like, oh, my God, Jason versus Freddy. Who wants to see that? Turns out I did.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, you wouldn't want to see Freddy Krueger take on Jason.
I have to admit, there were a couple of fights that were incredible.
Really?
They were great.
Was Freddy Krueger like the very visible Freddy Krueger, or was
Unfortunately, he was too much in the light.
Oh,
yeah.
I hate when they do that, man. I wish they go back.
They could have kept him darker.
And scarier.
Yeah, because, I mean, the makeup isn't that great.
Yeah.
It's, like, very obviously a mask.
You know it's that dude in makeup.
Right. And it's just like, but, I mean, the mask is even, like, it doesn't look like burned flesh.
Yeah, the first Freddy Krueger, it looked really cool.
Yeah.
Like, you were scared of Freddy Krueger. And then the second one was cool, too. And then, like, by the seventh one, it was just like...
He's in the light. He might as well have a
Halloween
mask shoes on and be doing a Broadway show.
Yeah. So they kind of ruined the mystery of Freddy Krueger. But I would still go see Freddy Krueger versus Jason from Halloween.
And quite frankly, I think his voice was different this time, too. Wasn't Freddy's regular voice.
He sounded like Jeff Currow.
Yeah. It was like Captain Jenks doing a Con Ed.
It's me, Freddy. I'm going to scratch you, and then I'm going to have a beer. Let's go, baby.
But the fight sequences are fun.
Larry, you're on the air.
Hey, God, what's up?
You guys are from the Skeleton Crew. You got exactly 3 seconds to get off my porch with your nuts intact. And I know you're all a bunch of fucking slackers.
Okay, well, wait. To give you the story, so here are the rules. All right, this is what I was told. I was given absolutely no prep time whatsoever. It's just they throw you the topic and you got to go. Okay, so I had to do a rap. And this is how it goes down. It's like, he looks at me and he goes, potatoes, go. All right, so, and I just dive right into baked to fried. I like them on the side of my plate with a burger or a steak. Dip them in ketchup or even mayo, and those are the ways I eat my potatoes.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
We hit a new low.
Oh, thank you. Good night. Thank you, Cleveland.
Who would have thought?
I told you it was bad. But
we all could rip it in this show. That's how we roll here.
It's time to rip it, and I don't care if you stitch it up. Give a fuck. I don't.
Alex can't rap.
Seriously, though,
it's like
that's not
taking
bad.
A crap.
That's not bad for on-the-spot bullshit. I thought that was...
No, it was really good. You did good.
Toss me words. I'll rap to it. Go.
That's all right. Okay. All right, ready? We have enough show. Believe me, we're already over like 5 hours again.
Alex hates this show.
We are at, okay, really quick, we have a Blu-ray giveaway.
Blu-ray giveaway.
Blu-ray giveaway.
Blu-ray giveaway.
You have to belong to our Facebook. Yeah, just look, just type in the Skeleton Crew. You'll find our Facebook, and we put it everywhere. So you have to find it.
Sure.
We put it everywhere, so you have to find it.
Not that hard to find.
You find
I don't know
that.
what you're looking for.
You also find us. So
yeah,
come on and join us anyway.
If you want to find us, you'll find us.
Don't make me bribe you for your attention.
We also reactivated our YouTube channel, so you could listen to us on YouTube. And just so everybody knows, you don't have to actually watch the video. It's the same thing the whole 3 hours.
Yeah.
You could just listen and walk away.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's that. And now we got the Blu-ray giveaway. Now here's the Blu-rays we're giving away. And aren't we so nice? What other show will do this for you? Here are the Blu-rays we're giving away.
Tell them what they've won.
The Town That Dreaded Sundown.
Yes.
Ooh, me,
We're in Texas, right?
me, I'm the one.
Yeah, well, you can enter, I think. The Burning.
The Burning.
And those two aren't even out yet, so we're good. The Lost Boys. The Lost Boys 2. The Tribe. The Lost Boys 3. The Thirst. The Vampire something. I can't find it. I can't see. The Vampire, what is that called?
I don't know.
The Vampire...
What are we giving away, Johnny?
Lovers?
Vampire Lovers. Not interested. Okay.
Stitches.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
We're giving that, and I know Jamie wants that because she thinks that is beautiful looking.
She likes the look of the movie.
Will you suck it? It is beautiful. There's a lot to be said.
Good kills, too. That's a good fucking
Yeah,
pick.
hell yeah. That's what saved it for me, honestly.
Yeah.
If it wasn't as gory and gorgeous as it was, then I would have been bored as shit.
Stitches.
And the DVD that's in there is MP2V. That's a movie of these cool people I met at that convention, and we'll have a interview with them on the next show. I just talked to them for about 18 minutes, exactly. And they tell us about that movie. I watched it. It's pretty cool. If you like, it's like, the way I think of it is, you'll like that movie if you like amateur porn compared to regular studio porn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like if you're a zero tolerance, if you're
like Wicked or
Wicked,
Bang Bros.
No, that's also sort of official. But who are the ones that make you wear condoms in their studio? What studio is that?
I don't know, because I actually prefer...
Vivid.
There you go.
Entertainment.
Yeah. So if you like amateur porn compared to Vivid, I think you'll like MP2V. So we'll talk about it later in the next show.
Yes, indeed.
But that's one of the DVDs we're giving away. So guys, if you want to win this, here's what you do. On our Facebook page, you just say, I would like a Blu-ray. And judging by who wrote it in order, that order is how I'll give away the 8 Blu-rays and 1 DVD.
Ooh, so who's on top of the show first? That's what's
Exactly.
good. What's good? Yo, we're gonna see who's really real son.
Man, you're gonna make Matt like
What?
sprain his wrist trying to dive for the
What?
keyboard while he's listening to
Right
the
now,
show.
right now. If you're hitting this, look, go on
You
the
know
face.
he's listening outside the keyhole anyway. You can
You-
see that motherfucker if you look out.
I know, he's hanging at the dungeon like
Yeah.
constantly.
He's always peeking through the bars and the little window in the door. I see
He's
him.
like-
I see him.
Hey guys, you guys want me to cook you a falafel?
I want some of those strawberries. Did you see the food porn he posted? I want some of those strawberries.
He's
Oh,
posted.
God.
I believe that.
Yeah, Matt's like, come on, I got a quiche in the oven.
Quiche in the oven. Matt was out. Quiche in the oven.
Yeah, Matt's like the prisoner of Castle Mare. He just sat there till he died, and he looks like us. So that's that. All you gotta do is say, I want one of these things, and you have to be the first, 9 people. That's all.
No pressure.
No pressure. Just say I want one, and that's how you get one.
Run now.
Run, Forrest.
If I'm gonna get my chance, then I'm gonna grab it. Rabbit, run.
What's up, Skeleton Crew boners? It's your friend Matt here, and I am back with a segment that I like to call 10-second interviews. What this is I'm going to be sitting down with horror movie icons Names like Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, Carrie, Ghostface, Spider-Man. I don't fucking know. I'm recording this before I booked anybody. But anyways, I'm going to be sitting down with these people, round table style, and I'm going to ask them questions, rapid fire, 10-second bursts. Questions like, how do you choose your victims? How do you like your steak cooked? Do you poop regularly? Jerk off techniques, stuff like that. It's just off the top of my head. So without any further ado, let's get into it. 10-second interviews. All right, here we go. Is everybody ready? All right. Engineer Eric, are you ready over there with that clock? Yeah, buddy, I'm ready. Okay, here we go. And in 3, 2, interview. All right, everybody. I'm sitting here with the legendary Michael Myers from Haddonfield, Illinois. Now, Michael, every year on Halloween, Okay. Hello. I'm sitting here with Freddy Krueger from Springwood, Illinois. Freddy, when you put that glove on, does it make you... Okay, fucking shit. Jason Voorhees. Now, your mother really seems like the kind of person that would sort... Fuck me. Okay, Norman Bates. Thank you for coming on the show. You're a legend. Now, you've been running the Bates Motel for about... shit. Okay, Producer Pete, can we slow this down at all? I mean, this is... I didn't really think this... We can't? Okay, fuck me. Moving on. Victor Crowley. Okay, thank you for being here all the way from Louisiana. Now, you seem to be... Shit. Okay, the miner from My Bloody Valentine, say something now. Okay, that's just a Darth Vader rip. Fuck. Okay, back to Michael Myers. Just say something. You don't fucking talk. Okay, why did I fucking bring you on here? Okay, forget it. Producer Pete, let's shut it down. Engineer Eric, stop that clock. This just isn't working. Oh man, I really didn't think this through. Producer Pete, let's shut it down. We got to retool this. Thank you to all my guests. I really appreciate you taking the time to coming in. I'll be back with a reformatted show, probably 20-second interviews or something. So until then, I love you, Mom.
You're no saint. You got a free cab, you got a free room, and someone who'll listen to your boring stories. I mean, didn't you notice on the plane when you started talking, eventually I started reading the vomit bag? Didn't that give you some sort of clue, like, hey, maybe this guy's not enjoying it? You know, everything is not an anecdote. You have to discriminate. You choose things that are funny or mildly amusing or interesting. You're a miracle. Your stories have none of that. They're not even amusing accidentally. Honey, I'd like you to meet Del Griffith. He's got some amusing anecdotes for you. Oh, and here's a gun so you can blow your brains out. You'll thank me for it. I could tolerate any insurance seminar. For days, I could sit there and listen to them go on and on with a big smile on my face. They'd say, how can you stand it? And I'd say, because I've been with Del Griffith. I can take anything. You know what they'd say? They'd say, I know what you mean. The shower curtain ring guy. Whoa. It's like going on a date with a chatty Cathy doll. I expect you to have a little string on your chest, you know, that I pull out and have to snap back. Except I wouldn't pull it out and snap it back. You would. And by the way, you know, when you're telling these little stories, here's a good idea. Have a point. It makes it so much more interesting for the listener.
But since we're still waiting for Leanna to call in, so we don't know when this exactly is going to happen. There's like a little window, so...
Did he just need to do that again?
I did it again? Leanna?
He did!
Oh, Linnea.
See, I don't know if you're doing it on purpose or not, so it's freaking me out. So, okay.
Linnea.
Linnea.
I gotta write this down. I'm seriously gonna mess up. Mr. Bill? Mr. Linnea? Wait, Leanna? Wait, what do I... I don't even know the right one anymore.
Linnea.
What's the correct one? Linnea?
Yeah. Linnea. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to write this down on a piece of paper. Le, and I'm going to put a dash. N-A-Y.
Yes.
A.
Yes.
Linnea. Le. How can I do the le better, though, than L-E?
L-I. Linnea.
L-I?
L-I. Yes, because her name is Linnea. So,
Linnea.
Linnea. So, L-I.
I got it. You don't think she'll listen to this part, do you?
You ever see grumpier old men?
Are you leaving this part in? Of course she's going to hear it.
She won't hear it. But it's not even about her name. It's not, I mean, I know who she is. You know, like, just because I can't pronounce the name, that's not a slight.
This is Mr. Skin from MrSkin.com with all the skin folk from the latest movies. Not nude in theaters, Gwyneth Paltrow co-stars in Iron Man 3. If you want to marvel at Gwyneth's Iron Man's 2, check out Shakespeare in Love, where she gets topless in bed with the bard. To beat or not to beat? That is the question.
This is the Mr. Skin Minute.
Nude on Blu-ray, Elizabeth Banks co-stars in The Details. You can spank to this Banks 26 minutes in when Elizabeth has high-speed sex with Tobey Maguire and flashes her fantastic fanny. To see Tail, check out The Details. Nude on HBO, Rose Leslie finally bared her blooms on Game of Thrones. It was a game of moans when ravishing redhead Rose brought out her white wobblers for a hot spring skinny dip with Jon Snow. And what's a rose without a prick? Ouch.
MrSkin.com. Fast forwarding to the good parts.
You left me for another guy, cuter than I. He's a Santa Monica Boulevard boy, hanging out with the boys in the store. He's a Santa Monica Boulevard boy, acting much more than boy. When he flexes his muscles, got you on the hop. When he wiggles his head, got you in a mix. He's a Santa Monica Boulevard boy, hanging out with the boys in the store. He's a Santa Monica Boulevard boy, acting much more than boy. He's a Santa Monica Boulevard boy, hanging out with the boys in the store. He's a Santa Monica Boulevard boy, acting much more than boy. I always knew you were strange, the way your hair's arranged, the way your shorts are tight, the way you never reach every height. It's Santa Monica Boulevard boy, hanging out with the boys in the store. It's Santa Monica Boulevard boy, acting much more than boys. You never know what you'll find on the corner of SM and Vine. You never know what you'll do when your guy likes boys instead of you. It's Santa Monica Boulevard boy, hanging out with the boys in the store. It's Santa Monica Boulevard boy, he's acting much more than boy. Santa Monica boy, I want you. Santa Monica boy, please come back. Santa Monica boy, come on. Boulevard boy.
Okay, everyone, and welcome back to the Skeleton Crew. I am so excited about this segment. I was so excited about it that Alex handed me the reins and is letting me do the intro. And so that should tell you something. We have right here, and we're going to be talking to some of my favorite people in horror. One of my favorite people that I know, and one of my favorite people that I've never had the opportunity to talk to before, so I'm really excited. One of them is horror legend, the gorgeous Linnea Quigley, and talented.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here finally.
I'm so glad you're here, too. This is so thrilling. And what we're talking about, I'm just so excited. Also, we have with us Ken J. Hall.
How you doing, buddy?
Yes, hello.
Thank you for joining.
Hello.
And you guys together are responsible for what we're about to be talking about. And we're talking about the release, it took long enough, release on DVD of the Linnea Quigley Horror Workout from 1990. Yes. And I know that you guys, you just did Monsterpalooza. So how did that go? Was the reception really awesome?
It was great. It was great. I mean, we hyped it up a bit. And I guess the best way to put it is the stuff Linnea and I did is kind of a cult 80s, direct-to-video kind of thing. Even in a big horror show like Monsterpalooza, we're kind of appeal to like a niche group in that niche group, if that makes any sense.
Oh,
and it was,
of course it does. And being in horror, you know what that's like anyway,
Absolutely. And basically, I don't want to let Linnea talk, but it was really gratifying to see, people that some people said that they were there specifically, to come see us and get their copy of the DVD. These are the first ones that went out, so this was kind of our launch party, as it were.
Yeah. Don't you have like a special, like the first 1,000?
Yes, the first 1,000. They're numbered and signed by Kenneth and I, and also there's a picture in there, a special. It's 3x5.
It's a 5x7.
5x7,
and that's what's signed and numbered. And
yes.
Right now, there's only going to be this first 1,000 for the moment. There is an intention to do a general release afterwards, and if we do, though, it will not contain this hand numbered, autographed by Linnea and I.
So you got to get in there quick if you want to get the good stuff.
Oh,
basically.
Yeah.
I understand our distributor's website has already sold over 100 units. We sold quite a few at Monsterpalooza. Again, we're hoping to do more conventions elsewhere in the country. There's nothing booked right this moment. So, they can contact.
The link is
horrorworkout.com. And
that's been easy to remember.
Well, it's linked to legacyfeatures.com, but yeah, horrorworkout.com is probably going to be easy to remember. They've been doing pre-sales for about a week, and I understand the DVDs are going out. The first wave is going out in the next few days from them. As I said, we've been selling some at Monsterpalooza. They will also be able to buy them from Linnea at LinneaQuigley.com. That's correct.
Yes, /Linnea/Quigley.com. Correct.
You mean dash?
Dash. I mean dash, not slash. I'm always thinking of slashing.
You're thinking of slasher.
Yeah, just thinking of slashing all the time.
No, we're not talking about your personal life.
I know.
We're talking about
It
your
gets
website.
confused.
Okay.
And I'll have one that you can pry out of my cold, dead hands because I would never get rid of it.
Oh, and I heard it's a special 666.
I know. I'm so excited. I just geeked out in a major way, and that's really embarrassing. Like,
I saw this video. It is hilarious. I love that video. That is classic.
I mean, it's among people who know about it, it's pretty legendary. I mean, you mention it in the right circles, and it's like, oh yeah, I know that. And it's a hoot. Where did that concept come from? Like, what made you decide this is what the world needs is a horror workout video? Which, by the way, I couldn't argue that point. But
Well, you got to remember, even though the release date was 1990, and actually I think one website took me to task by putting on the new release box, the 80s cult classic. We made it in 1989, and all you had to do is look at the hairstyles to know we're talking 80s here,
Yeah.
So, but Linnea was doing a picture called Murder Weapon for Dave Dakota, and I dropped by the set, and
I was doing this bit with like a big sledgehammer, just going after this guy, killing him. And we started talking about what a workout doing a horror film is.
And you were going up and down, like
and
a routine.
Routine, like, really working those buys and tries. And Ken said, I've got an idea. And we just like were kind of fooling around with it, and all of a sudden we got some people, money people behind us on it, and it took off.
Yeah, it started out as a joke, and everybody on the set laughed, when I said, this is an exercise routine, we should do Linnea Quigley's Our Workout. It was one of those things that as the laughter was still, going on, I thought to myself, this is actually might be a funny idea, to do this. And it was never intended as a serious exercise video, although I did find a review of it on a website that reviewed legit exercise videos, and it actually was very favorable review.
Oh, that's funny.
So
It's funny.
It's
So you
funny
never know.
because I've done it.
Oh,
And
You've done the workout?
I wanted to see. I was just like, let's see.
I love it.
Let's see what because honestly, I expected it to be a novelty, something fun and enjoyable to watch for horror fans who have everything, and it's a blast. But then I was like, well, let me just see, so I actually have done it a couple times, and it's really not bad. It's not,
Were you able to get out of bed the next morning?
Well, yeah, but
it's not that strenuous.
Well, she did, and she also didn't get a drill in her back or anything like
that's
that.
true. The drill kill, yes.
But it's interesting. Cynthia Garris, who appears on camera under an assumed name, she was our choreographer as well as one of the Slumber Party girls, and she was an aerobics instructor.
An aerobics instructor, yes.
So-
I worked at a gym too when I first came to LA. So
Yeah, you worked at Bally's, right?
yes, Bally's. No. I did work
Or
at
Jack
Bally's.
LaLanne.
Jack LaLanne's health spa. I even met Jack LaLanne.
wow.
I was like starstruck.
Talk about a legend, that guy.
Yes. Yeah, he was in good shape, man.
It's unreal.
So-
I was drinking formaldehyde or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I want to get that recipe.
He lasted a long time. I think he just died. What was it like? Not much more than a year ago.
Yeah,
I think.
exactly.
I think his jumpsuit finally just gave out, and
That's right, that jumpsuit. That was pretty interesting looking.
Yeah, you actually did so much. Like do you still have that band, The Skirts, going on?
Yes, but we don't play like we did in LA because she's on the opposite side of the coast as me. But
Okay.
every now and then we'll get together to do some stuff, and then I'll like use the music that I wrote and recorded for like Jason Paul Cullum's Screaming in High Heels, The Rise and Fall of the Scream Queen. I can never get the title right, but it'll end up in little things. Yes, I get that title wrong all the time. The music's been used a lot, and I do sell it too on my website and things like that. But we do sometimes do play.
Okay, yeah, your song was used in Nightmare Sisters. And
In Nightmare Sisters, yes. Santa Monica Boulevard Boy, yes.
Yep, I think you can find that on YouTube if everybody wants to check that out, and then they could,
I think that was actually in the workout. Wasn't that in the workout?
No.
too?
Like
Was it
that,
not?
There is a clip.
Yeah, there's a clip. I was
Okay,
about to say that wasn't part of the workout, but yeah, it was one of the clips we used, and that's actually one of the kind of bonuses of the commentary track that we do on the thing, because we're actually making comments about the clips and giving some little behind the scene info for stuff like Vice Academy and Creepazoids and Sorority Babes and that sort of thing. So you're getting to hear
behind the scenes stories,
some
which
inside
are pretty
info.
interesting.
One can only imagine.
Oh yeah, we had everything in 2 days that could happen.
And that's the thing I want to mention, that in addition to the fact that we remastered this so it looks way better than all the bootlegs people have been downloading for a long time now.
Right.
For like 20 years.
Yeah, 20 years.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I don't know if they're downloading, but they have been certainly bootlegging it for about that long.
They've been passing tapes around forever.
Yeah.
Right.
By the time, what generation you get, you can't even see what's going on anymore.
That's true.
Yeah, this has been digitally remastered, and so you probably have not seen it this
That
clean.
clear.
Yeah,
No.
and but we also, as mentioned have a commentary track that Linnea and I do. Plus, we've got on-camera interviews with the two of us, producer Dave Dakota, my brother Cleve Hall, and and a stills gallery. So there's a lot of extras there that you don't that you won't find anywhere else. So
wow,
yes, that's the one
That's
good thing.
exciting. Yeah, and that's the good part about actually plopping down the money and getting a decent copy of this for all you people who've been hoarding those tapes out there. I know that they're out there.
The VHS that are out there that I'm surprised the machines haven't eaten.
Or they could be, taped back together. Every time I mention, every time I would post information about this, someone climbs out of the woodwork and they're like, I have that on VHS. And I'm like, well, good. This is your perfect opportunity to upgrade. And if you do it right now, you'll get something really cool that people who do it later aren't going to get. So
yeah,
get your stuff there and do it.
That's very true. And we even saw at Monsterpalooza another guy that was in a clip. And it was like one of the clips.
Assault of the Party Nerds, the guy that you're in the scene with.
Yes.
And it was so funny because we just watched it the night before the show, and he came in our room, and then all of a sudden he mentioned that he was in Assault of the Party Nerds, and we go, oh my God, wait a minute! I'd been seeing him around conventions for a while, and it's like, and actually there were a bunch of people. I think you had left, but I ran into Earl Ellis at the bar, the guy who did our makeup effects, and then on Sunday night John Bulich was there, who actually did the music.
Yes.
Yeah, and which was not what John was doing at the time. John was a makeup effects artist who wound up founding Optic Nerve Studios. So he's now producing, but he actually did the music for the Horror Workout.
So it's like a reunion kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Like, Linnea, you've been a part of a lot of reunions, because didn't they do a lot of reunions for Return of the Living Dead with conventions?
Oh, yes. There's been, especially in the last 5 years, a lot of Return of the Living Dead conventions, which have been really fun. Like the last one I went to, Clue actually went to, he never travels.
Oh, I love him
and he had
so
a
much.
blast. He's great. He was written a musical where I play a medical examiner, and that his son John, who did Piranha 3DD, that hopefully they'll get the money to do, and that's really exciting. I would love to do something he wrote for me.
That would be awesome.
Yes,
Clue is quite the character. I've known him for years, but I mean, I grew up watching him on television long before Return of the Living Dead.
Oh, last picture show, I fell in love with him in the last show. I had such a crush on him. It is crazy. And to this day, his voice still, it just, I don't know, there's something about it. I was fortunate enough to get to talk to John when,
Feast?
Yes, thank you. It was when Feast 2 came out. I was interviewing him, and we started talking about his dad because I kept telling him about this lifelong crush I've had on his dad.
And his dad's good looking still.
He's so good looking.
Yes.
And we were talking about how hilarious it was because they used Baby Clue in part 3. I think is it part 3 or part 2 where the baby gets eaten, and he's like, we used Baby Clue, and like people are up in arms about it, but it was, it was it's a hoot.
That's
it's a family
funny.
affair.
You know who's another character in that movie in real life? Miguel Nunez.
Oh, geez, he's crazy and funny and all over the place. I love him.
Yeah, I talked to him a few times. He was on like an older show of mine. We interviewed him. He's a trip, man. And we got to have him back on. That'd be great.
Oh, yeah.
There were a bunch of people there this weekend that weren't even part of the show. Brian Peck showed up. Beverly Randolph showed up. Joel Shepard showed up.
Wow.
Just for support?
Just for the heck of it.
See, that's why I love the horror community, where else do you get that? How many romantic comedy weekends do you go to,
I don't know. I saw a convention for 50 First Dates, Jamie. There was a lot of people there.
Oh, my God.
Are you serious?
No.
He's
making it up. No, but I mean,
I convention that I'm going to, it's going to be boring.
Oh, boy. The weird thing at Monsterpalooza, there was a guy talking to me for a long time that goes to It's a Wonderful Life conventions. He even had a watch that said "It's a Wonderful Life" on it, and I thought, how did he get here?
I was going to say, interesting combination.
That was really weird. I didn't even know they had conventions for "It's a Wonderful Life."
I don't know. How many times do you need to convene over that?
I don't know, but I just thought, this guy's like psycho.
Well, the thing is, those films, some of the, I love classics like that, and that's my thing is more of the classic horror, I grew up with the Universal Monsters and Vincent Price's Poe films and the Hammer films, of course, with Lee and Cushing. And, so by the time I didn't start watching there weren't the slasher films until I was in my teens, and I'd already grown up with horror and monsters and so forth. But it was a little bit more fun and not necessarily as serious and violent, which is why I loved the stuff we did back in the 80s. It wasn't so deadly serious. You could have some fun with it and a couple of laughs. And nowadays, I think a lot of directors are so afraid of putting even a single light moment into a horror film.
Oh yeah, it's got to be all scares, dead bodies, and gore.
Which even that, it gets grating after a while. It gets, I think that John Landis, when he made, for instance, An American Werewolf in London, to him, that is a horror film. Like, it's scary.
Yes.
There are funny parts, but it's not a comedy. It's a horror film, and he puts the funny parts in there to kind of throw us off our guard. So, we're like, oh, ha, ha, ha. And then, next thing you know, you get attacked, they're getting attacked by a wolf, and you're like, ah! So I think it makes it work better. So when you can marry the two elements well, then I think you have a successful film.
Well, there was a filmmaker who kind of did that way back when with suspense and horror films, and that was a guy named Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah.
I seem to recall that name.
Yeah, you've heard of him, right? Yeah, it's kind of obscure, But yeah, seriously, he always believed in giving the audience a break, giving them a moment, and then before he drew them in and manipulated them to be scared or tense or something like that. Another great film that really structured like a monster movie, but it really was much more mainstream than that, was Jaws.
I knew you were going to say it.
Yeah, me too.
And actually, it was funny. This weekend we ran into some folks from Jaws who actually were sitting right next to Jeffrey Kramer, who was the deputy in Amityville, and also I sought out Carl Gottlieb, who I'd met many years back, and who wrote the screenplay to Jaws, and I kind of reminisced with him. We had an odd thing in common. He and I had both directed John Matuzak in movies. So how many people can say that?
Thing in common. Yeah.
Yes.
Not many.
Yes. Kind of.
I'm glad you brought up Jaws, because that's that's my favorite movie of all time, and I'm constantly getting into arguments.
It's way up there.
Because people try to tell me that it's, it's not a horror film. And I'm like, well, to me, it is. I happen to think it is the scariest movie ever made, only because how many people stopped being Catholic after they saw The Exorcist, it was scary, but it didn't. There are people who, 40 years later, will not go in the ocean because of Jaws.
I get freaked out when I go in the ocean. I live by it, and it freaks me out.
Well, it should. There's sharks in the water there.
Yeah, there are, and Jaws taught us that.
Any
well, in
ocean
Florida,
that I go,
but
still any ocean I go into, I get these creeps, and I think of that boom, 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 and something, going to pull me down, like in the first scene of Jaws. It's like the most frightening scene I've ever
where
witnessed.
she's trying to catch her breath, and she,
yes.
I mean, to me, every time that still gives me chills because it's just it's terrifying. And alligator, thanks to alligator, I have to get out of the pool sometimes if I'm.
You're right.
There's another wonderful film.
No, you know that scene where there's the kid and they're at the birthday party and they're going to make him walk the plank, and so they push him into the pool and they don't know the alligator's in there. I'll be swimming around and I'm like, start thinking about that movie, and then next thing I know, I'm swimming toward the shallow end. I'm like, wow.
Exactly. I know your mind is plays tricks on you. And then the other film Psycho made a lot of people stop taking showers too.
Yeah, supposedly Janet Leigh couldn't take a shower after that.
That's right. And you would think that she would be
Well, like taking a bath is
scared
making
from
you
doing
any less vulnerable. At least you're on your feet in the shower, for God's sake. Or maybe she just didn't bathe at all, which is, I don't know. I met her shortly before she died, and, she seemed fine to me. Maybe I was upwind. I'm not sure.
Oh, please. That's sad.
Well, you're not really safe in the bathtub either, because I saw Saturday the 14th. And
oh, you're right. There's a lot of scary things that lurk in bathtubs and movies.
Freddie's glove.
Freddie's glove, yes.
Or and this is another person we met this weekend. You definitely don't want to take a bath with Camille Keaton.
No, that's true. I spit on your grave.
Oh, right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I spit on your grave.
Why do I know that? Why do I know that name? Yeah, not a good bath time buddy. I know.
Yeah. Especially if you're a guy.
I was going to say, as long as you're not a guy, I'm sure it'd be fine. But
Actually, it's hot. Actually, but just editorializing here for a bit.
Oh,
Linnea, when you were talking,
yeah,
when you were talking about we were all talking about how horror has changed in the last 30, 40 years. When you did Night of the Demons, and then you did the remake, just from those two experiences, what can you tell us about how things changed and that the difference?
Well, everybody used film, and actors were on time, and actors knew their lines. There was this camaraderie. I've noticed a lot of actors now are saying mean things to other actors and putting each other down, not this camaraderie, which we used to have when we were on set. And also just kind of okay, get it, move along. They don't take their time as much.
Really?
So it's kind of they don't really care so much about the script and the story. It's just a franchise type thing.
Well, am I imagining this, or did shoots used to last longer?
Yes.
Okay, because I really feel like now it's okay, we've got 2.5 days to shoot this movie.
No, we took a whole 4 days to shoot Nightmare Sisters.
4 days for Nightmare Sisters, but we only had 12-hour days, but everybody knew what they were doing. It seems like people don't know their jobs, and they get in, I don't know how, to sets and things like that, and the actors the same way. I don't know how, because they don't know their lines, they don't know, what they're doing. But it just seemed like people were more aware of everything.
These days, you have to get your hand held, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
I see that a lot, and in all over the place.
That's true.
But one of the things that led to this was the advent of digital cinema.
True.
As Linnea was saying earlier, back in those days, everything had to be shot on film. Even though videotape existed, you could not give away a movie shot on video. We did the hard workout on the highest end video at that time, Betacam, because it was supposed to be a spoof of an exercise video. But had it been a feature film, the hard workout is 60 minutes long, in case people are wondering. For some reason, I think that got left off the box, but anybody that's ever heard of it knows that it's not a full-length feature. Basically, then all of a sudden digital cinema came along, and anybody with a camcorder and desktop editing system was a filmmaker. And on one hand, I like the fact that it brought down the cost and enabled a lot of people to do things that they couldn't normally do. And in my case, when I do films now, I like the fact that I could actually put that money up on the screen rather than paying some anonymous a vendor that sells, film stock and a lab people. And believe me, back in the day, people who sold film stock and did processing and so forth for labs were not doing it for the love of it. So you rarely, if ever, got any kind of deals. But the bad side of digital cinema is the fact that too many people started making movies that had no business making movies.
Oh, yeah.
And, that they, the reason they don't know, or not doing things right is because they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Right.
They have no background. They just picked up a camera and pointed it at something and said, go. I don't miss shooting on film because of the cost and everything. I do value the fact that I had that experience, and it taught me discipline, and it taught me a lot of stuff. So now I'm, not like these guys, but we could try it this way or that way because the tape doesn't cost anything, or maybe we can edit it this way or that way. It's like you make a decision and move on.
Yeah, you had to. You couldn't afford to shoot it every way and pick one, you didn't have the time nor the money, so for that reason, though, I do love to see when a film comes out now and that it was made on film. It just makes me happy. That someone is still going through the process, even though they don't absolutely have to.
I know. I love the term "check the gate." They don't say that anymore. It's like, oh.
The first when I was in Italy, they said "check the gate," but anyway. And instead of watch your back, it was wash your back over there. So I thought what's wrong if I got something on it?
Yeah.
Anyway, no, that was a fun experience working over in Italy, and that was
on Charlie Band's.
Yeah, it was back when Charlie Band had Empire. I worked on Ghoulies Part 2.
Oh, I love that movie.
And of course, obviously, Linnea and I both did a lot of stuff for Charlie Band over the years.
Yeah, I was going to ask you guys one question I've always wanted to know: what happened to him as a child that freaked him out so bad with dolls? Something must have happened. There's got to be a story.
Question. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. He certainly keeps mining the same vein, doesn't he?
I think there's something that draws him to that subject matter. And with Puppet Master's understanding because of the brilliant writing that was involved with that. But
yes, I was having rewritten by the time that thing got to the screen. I mean, there's some slight resemblance between my first draft and the final draft. I think there are puppets in both. I'm not 100% sure.
What more do you want?
Well, I mean, I think it's truly the puppets that David Allen created that made that a success.
I just got off the set of something called Blood Story, Joe Hollow film, and that was filmed in Central Florida. I'm going on to do something in a month called Into the Ether. I did Lori Bowen's film, who you probably know.
Very well. I adore Lori.
Yes. Stella Boyle. I can never say the last name. It's very hard. I love that short. It's really, really good. I did Demons on Skates called Demonica, something that's out now David Dakota's Cougar Cult, 1818.
The 1313.
I mean, 1313. I don't know what I'm saying.
1818. Yeah.
Cougar Cult 1313. And, oh my God, what's it called? Girls Gone Dead, which is real fun, kind of reminiscent of the 80s films.
Oh, you're in that?
Yeah.
I need to watch that on Netflix then.
And,
actually, that's on my queue too.
Right. And it's fun. It's really fun. And there's a couple others that The Trouble with Barry I just shot out here about 8 months ago, which will be out pretty soon. And just wanting to do more and more things as they come along.
Well, you don't ever stop. I don't think
I try not to. I try not.
You don't. I don't think you do. You don't.
Yeah.
Are you stopping right now to talk to me? Did I actually catch you sitting still? That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, actually, we had like a tremendous 4 days of just going, and I did take a nap. I got to take a nap and then get on with you, but it was because I got up early and signed some pictures for the DVD, the horror workout, and got that done.
I know they've been working you. I know they've had you busy the entire time.
Keep me busy. Keep that wrist going.
I've got a bunch of scripts. We're talking actually with Legacy people. The Legacy is the company that is putting out the workout and maybe putting out some of my other titles. But beyond that, we're looking to do some productions together. In the meantime, I have my company, Total Fabrication, which is my day job, quote unquote, is still in the industry. We just did the Gorn for the Star Trek the video game commercial, where we had William Shatner actually has a rematch from his old nemesis from the original 60s TV series, and we had to recreate that great character.
That's a fun concept.
It's funny. It blew up on the internet a couple of weeks ago, and it was intended to be a viral video, and it went everywhere. Of course, I think somebody told me, well, you finally arrived when George Takei reposted on his Facebook page.
Ooh,
so
nice.
George apparently is some of the biggest number of followers on Facebook for some reason.
He has a tremendous amount of followers. It's crazy, but he posts some really fun stuff. That's why.
Oh yeah. No, he's hysterical. I've seen a lot of his posts before. So we did the Gorn.
What about Pink's Lips?
Oh yeah,
I was out here last time when that was.
That's right. Last year's MTV Video Music Awards, Pink had a performance on the show, and we created a 16 shiny red singing and dancing lips and an extra pair that she flew off the stage riding. So
wow. Okay.
so we do wacky stuff. We do Gene Simmons armor for Kiss. We do a lot of goofy things for Jack Black's band Tenacious D. I wish I could say we're doing more monsters and creatures, but in this day and age, with CG taking a lot of film and television work, we wind up doing commercials and live shows, and our stuff tends to be more goofy than frightening. I think I have some kind of weird record. I could probably, if I tallied it up, I probably have dressed more people as food than any other person in Hollywood. So.
I'm sure there are fetishes out there that would.
yeah, the furries. He even told Martin Landau that he did the octopus in Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Well, actually, there was actually the recreation of Ed Wood for the movie Ed Wood. I did build the octopus prop for Ed Wood with Johnny Depp and Martin Landau.
I didn't even know that. That's so cool.
I did a lot. It's if we have another 2 or 3 hours, maybe I'll come back to the show and tell you all these weirdly random things.
You're welcome to come back anytime. I love it.
Very cool.
When you were talking earlier about digital versus film, and I said, it always makes me happy to see that someone is still out there plugging away at film when they don't have to. I feel the same way about effects, only a little bit more strongly about effects. I really feel like practical effects are something that we're missing a lot. And there's a depth there. There's, apart from the many man hours that goes into it, and everything else that goes into it, I just feel like when someone toils away at something and then produces it, that to me that's, and I'm not trying to diss the people who work really hard at digital effects. Like, I know that those are some really talented people and they do a fantastic job. But it's just, to me, I feel like horror is more visceral when you feel like you can reach out and touch something.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I think digital, even though I do miss, models and matte paintings and so forth, digital really does work well and can be very spectacular when it comes to like sci-fi and fantasy, and even in sometimes creating creatures that may have only been able to be done in the past was, say, stop motion animation, something that's not a guy in a suit or makeup or something like that. But basic horror, when you're talking about really up close and personal stuff, digital blood versus real blood, forget about it.
And bother? Why would someone bother with digital blood when prop blood is so easily attainable? And
it's laziness. Yeah. I mean, it does take time. Yeah. Well, I mean, seriously, it's so easy. It's like, oh, we'll do a take and pretend that somebody got stabbed or shot and then move on, as opposed to doing a take and risking the fact that, oh, it doesn't work quite right. The blood didn't go on, and clean it up, put on a new shirt or whatever, and it could take hours. That's just like the same principle in all these, lame sci-fi channel movies you see. There's a bunch of people up in the woods in Vancouver, and all they have to do is point off to the third tree from those. Oh my God, here it comes! And then there's nothing there, and then they scream, and then cut, we're moving on. And then instead of trying to do something real or practical, which could take them hours longer, in
the scene with it or something.
Yeah.
Well, give me that from the actress point of view. Like,
I don't like. I mean, well, there are sometimes I don't like all that prosthetic stuff on me. I have to admit. But I don't like seeing movies that have so much CGI. Mm-hmm. It just kind of wrecks it for me. And then I sit there wondering when I'm watching the movie, I wonder if that's real. I wonder if that's CGI or if they really did that. And I hate wondering about that.
Yeah, that they put you in a position where that is what you're thinking about.
Yeah, exactly.
You shouldn't be thinking about that.
No, I shouldn't be. And it's like so fake that it's horrible.
And and again, it's down to the laziness, and so forth. Of course, obviously, there's some amazing stuff that can be done digitally, which would be just too costly to do practically. But I believe there's still a room for practical effects. We've been experimenting with stuff. We're not the first people to do this, mind you, but things where we're doing full-size puppets that work on the set with the actors, interacting with the lighting on the set, that are puppeteered by performers in green suits, where basically instead of creating the whole character in post, where you have to have a lot of money to really make it look like it's there and three-dimensional, we actually have a three-dimensional character or creature or something like that, and it's basically using digital as a tool to remove the operator. It's like wire removal and so forth, which is a very legitimate thing, and it is extremely easy and cost-effective to do.
So you still get the benefit of the practical effect.
Absolutely.
That is really cool. I like that.
I'm waiting to see. We did it for a short recently where we built this 7-foot robot that had this really unique anatomy that couldn't possibly be a person in a suit. And I sold the director on the idea of doing it this way. And obviously they recently wrapped it, so it hasn't been finished yet. But I'm really anxious to see that. And we want that to be kind of a calling card for this technique. But somebody was just talking to me the other day. He said, well, I want to do some aliens. We'll have to find some really, really skinny people to put in. And I said, well, we don't necessarily have to put people in the aliens. We can have, we'd still have a live performer, but they would be performing behind the alien and have something that, people are going to wonder, wait a minute, it looks like it's really there. It doesn't look like a digital effect. But at the same time, how is that being done? It doesn't look like, there's no way a person could actually be inside something that skinny or tall or something like that.
That fascinating.
See,
that's the fun part about all those little things are the fun parts about movie making, and the part that I still find magical.
Yes.
And I think it fires the imagination, or at least
it does.
That's what did it for me. To be honest, everybody asks me, "Oh, what attracts you to horror? Do you really like being scared?" Not particularly. I really don't. Frankly, I actually hate somebody jumping out and scaring me. I want to kick the crap out of them. What appealed to me about those old films
things to do to Ken when he's not looking.
You be careful now. It was the fact that they were creative, they were different. Like you say, they fired the imagination with something outside of your everyday world, which is why years later, bigger budgeted movies like, for example, Star Wars, hit, so hugely because,
Alien.
But even Star Wars on a much more not necessarily scary thing, but it was taking people to other places outside their everyday world, and everybody just ate it up, and all these things, even the TV shows, from the Star Treks to the Buffys, to whatever the hell is on now.
I don't too many reality shows.
Yeah.
We need to tell these people where they need to go to get this video, because they need to do it one more time. They can go to
legacyfeatures.com, but you can also go to horrorworkout.com. And then shortly, Linnea will be selling it on her page, which is Linnea-Quigley.com.
Yeah, Linnea-Quigley.
Not slash, dash.
Hyphen,
I know.
or dash, hyphen, dash, whichever you prefer to say. But that's
want to just do it so you go there and get this movie. Guys, you do not want to miss out on one of the signed copies. It's
a classic. It was on Entertainment Tonight,
Back in the day,
so many shows. It was crazy.
Yeah, I'm glad it was such a success. This has been a long time coming, and it's very exciting. And I appreciate you guys taking so much time out to talk to us about it. It has been so much fun. I can't even tell you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, Jamie, it's been a pleasure, and all you guys, let's Alex, yes.
Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I've had so much fun, and
it's been fun. Yeah.
Okay. And then if there's anything else that you want to talk about that comes out or anything, just
we'll let you know.
Please come back anytime, or even just to come back and hang out.
We shall.
All right.
Okay. Well, thanks, guys.